All right.
Happy Halloween.
No, too late. All right, good morning. Today is November 1st, Thursday, November 1st, 2011, 12, the year behind. Today's topic is our last topic of the chapter, compound inequalities. This is page 206, number 16 through 40 even. This is, I think, 14 problems. I think it's about 14 problems, so it won't be that bad. Here we go. You have a quiz tomorrow? Yes.
On the board it says 204.
Oh, is it 204? Oh, wait, let me double check. Nope, it's 206. Thank you, I'll change it. 206. Thank you. 206, yeah. Not many problems there. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, this is supposed to be easy. I promise. Supposedly. Alright, 2 words to remember. And includes. Or opposite. Okay, keep that in mind. And includes or opposites. Number 1. This is your steps. These are your steps. Step 1. Isolate the variable or the letter in the middle. This part probably won't make any sense to you until we actually work it out. And then you're like, oh, this is easy. Okay. How do we do that? We either add or subtract the number, and then lastly, divide. Good. Divide the number. Okay. Again, this is not going to make any sense until about another minute. So we're going to have to get the letter in the middle by itself. In the last step, step 2, you should have 3 graphs. 3 graphs with new points. You're wondering, what are the 3 graphs? Very, very easy. The 3 graphs are the first equation graph, the second equation graph, and the third is the, smush them together, it's the combination. Excellent. The combo equation. Guess what? This is your answer. The third one's your answer. Some teachers don't require students to graph the first 2. I don't like that because you need to see the steps and how you get there, right? And it helps a whole bunch. It helps answer a lot of questions. This homework shouldn't take you that long. It's just a lot of graphs, but it'll be fine. So, do you want to take a ruler home?
Yeah.
Okay. When we leave, I'll give you a ruler. Don't lose it. It's 50 cents. You can lose it. Okay. Here we go.
I'm going to lose it, so I'm going to go ahead and pay 50 cents.
Please be my guest. Okay. Anyone still copying this down? Here we go. For example, negative 9 is less than x minus 10 is less than negative 5. Now we have things everywhere. We have letters on the left, letters on the right. Everything you've learned so far in chapter 3 is going to come together right now. So all you do is you go through the steps. So we want to get the x by itself, right? So we want to get x by itself. So we have to get rid of the negative 10. This is weird at first, but it will make sense. We add 10 to everything. Add 10 here, add 10 here, and add 10 here. You're adding 10 here, 10 here, and 10 here. You're adding 10, 10, and 10. We do that to isolate the variable in the middle. We add the left side down, 1. Bring down the sign. Bring down the x. So I'm going to do that. Let me show you the lines here. Bring down the sign again. Bring down the number. I'm going to stop right there. Questions about how I got 1 is less than 5? No. 1 is less than x is less than 5. No. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Here we go. Very, very, very easy. Look at this part first, and then this part second. It's like a Venn diagram of sorts. The first graph students, the first graph is right here. 1 is less than x. Well, we know that we can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do it. Can't do it. You have to flip. So it becomes x is greater than 1. So then I have my first graph. Oops, sorry. I'm going to graph my graph on the side here. 0 in the middle, positive 1, open, shade left. No, right. Questions on how I shaded? Okay, do the second graph. Number 2. The second graph is right here. Number 2. X is less than 5. Do I need to change anything?
No.
Okay. See how I'm graphing this? I'm graphing it right, just kind of below it. I use 0. I use 1. Oops, sorry. 1. I bring down the 1, and I also bring down the 5. And this is open circle to the left.
So you always have to flip.
So you always have to bring down.
You always have to bring down the first.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Why did we have to flip it the first time?
Why do we? Didn't have to or didn't have to? Because it's 1 is less than x. It's on the wrong side.
Oh.
Variables on the side.
Yes.
Will they ever combine and make a
I'll get there. I'll get there. Yes, they will. Graph number 3 is a combination graph. You're combining everything together. Guess what? 1 is less than x is less than 5. 1 and 5 get graphed. Guess what? Bring down the circles. Where do they overlap? In between. Let me zoom in right there. In between. Your answer is this. It makes sense. 1 is less than 5. 1 is less than x is less than 5. All the numbers that are less than 5 but more than 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way up to 4.9. All the way down to 1.1.
So you can say it, zero,
No, all the time. This is called an and statement. You're combining them together. Or go opposite. Okay. So let me give you one to yourself, and then we'll talk. This is confusing at first, but it will be pretty easy. Let me zoom out here. Questions on this one? Questions on the shading? Okay, do this one on your own. I'll walk around. Because I really need to know that you know how to do this. Oh, I'm sorry. Negative 5 is less than or equal to negative, 2x plus 3 is less than 9. The signs are different now. Don't forget, subtract first, and then divide last. Subtract first, and then divide last. We'll do the same lesson again tomorrow. Divide. No, you have to divide by 2. Everything is.
divide by 2.
Subtract first, and then divide. She didn't subtract it. Oh, you did? Oh, I did. Divide. Yeah.
Do you use like the numbers negative and you divide by it yourself, like what for? Okay.
All those rules still apply. They never go. Math is one of those things where the rules really don't go. Okay, so I think most of us are on the second, third step. Alright, so I'm going to subtract 3 first. That cancels out the middle 3. That becomes negative 8 is less than or equal to 2x is less than 6.
Oh, I accidentally did mine.
No. And then you have to divide by 2. But here, Seth, we're dividing by positive 2.
Yeah, no, I was just saying.
Yes. Okay. That becomes negative 4 is less than or equal to x is less than 3. This is the equation. Questions on how I got the equation?
Oh, I wrote it down.
Okay. Option 1, please. Graph 1. Graph 1. Negative 4 is less than or equal to x. Fix it. X is now greater than or equal to negative 4. So I flip. So when I graph this bad boy right here, it's a closed circle, shade, right. Questions on the first shading? Graph number 1 is done. Graph number 2. X is just less than 3. Easy graph, right? So 0. I bring down the negative 4. Hello. Yes. I bring down the positive 3, but it's open circle, shade left. They overlap. They overlap. Your answer graph is negative 4 is less or equal to X is less than 3. So when you graph this last graph, 0 in the middle, negative 4, positive 3, closed circle, open circle, they overlap right here in the middle. That is your answer. That is called an and. And includes. Includes. And includes. Or, go opposite.
You can just shade in where they overlap.
Right. This is and. You shade over it. Or, overlap. This is an and. Let's do some ors and we're done. There's an or. Yes. We'll do this lesson again on tomorrow. Tomorrow. Here we go. Negative 4 plus x is greater than 1, or negative 4 plus x is less than negative 3. What's the obvious difference? What's the obvious difference?
That variable is not in the middle.
Right, there's not a variable in the middle, and they're separate equations. So you know when you graph it, it's going to go opposite ways. There's no overlapping. It's opposite. All right? Here we go. Easy one, right? Do first. Add 4. Bring down the x. Bring down the 5. Or add 4. Add 4. You have x is less than 1. Questions about the two equations? What do you need? What is that? Hurry, don't waste my time. I have things to do. You're related? Okay. X is greater than 5. Good. 0 in the middle. 5. Open. Shade. Right. Now, questions on how I got that shading. Deal with it. X is less than 1. Same graphs. 1 is over here. 5 is over here. How do we shade 1? Do they ever overlap? Just physically, do they ever overlap? They don't. So your statement here would be x is less than 1 or x is greater than 5. Sometimes you'll see it like this. 1 is greater than x is greater than 5. This is sometimes you'll see it like that. Is that the same thing? It's the same thing. 1, open, shade, left, open, shade, right. Or statements don't flip. I'm sorry, they don't overlap. They're opposite. Yes? You know why? Flip it back. Flip it back. X is less than 1. It's the same thing. Yeah. Right. It's just, yes, it's different. Yeah. So here, it's all answers except for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everything else is an answer. Yes? What way? This is or. This is or. The other one's and. They overlap. This one does not overlap. Like in your homework, you'll see that it'll say or. So you know it's going to be opposite. If it doesn't have or in it, it's going to be overlapping. Okay? Last one and we're done. Last one and we're done. 2x is less than or equal to 6, or 3x is greater than 12. So in your homework tonight, it's going to be very obvious which one's and which one's or. It will say or in the problem. So they're opposite. You have the word or in the middle. If they are overlapping, you don't have anything. You just have the letter in the middle. Does that make sense? Okay. So on your homework tonight, you're gonna have 14 problems, so it shouldn't be too bad. And of course, graph it. I'm gonna work this out up here. Look up when you're finished. So ladies in volleyball tonight, let's get work done today at school. Let's get it done today at school, okay? So Gabby, the fifth period, if you can, just work if you have time. Sorry.
We have to bring down the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Thank you. So do you see why I have you guys graph all three a few earlier? It just keeps the flow of information correct. Okay? So the last one should be open circle left, open circle right. Or opposite and together. Okay? When we come back. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Close circle, this one right here? Thank you. Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. Anything else? We have a quiz tomorrow, and we have one more day, day one. Review on Monday, test on Tuesday. Goodbye. Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye, you too.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.